First question comes from Anna Paula Almeida, and she asks, how do you guys choose which songs are going to make it to the album? Um, we write a ton of music. Most of you are probably familiar with a project called 16. A lot of those songs, some of the B-sides, are songs that didn't make the album. I'd say we probably had 100, maybe even over 100 ideas for our record Sound of Fire, and really only 8 made the cut. And what's funny is that probably half of that record was written like the week before we actually recorded it. So, yeah. Emily Goldstein asks, any funny stories from the studio? The funny stories were probably our producer Tim Pagnata's dancing. That was pretty funny. But I don't know. We played a lot of ping pong. We became kind of addicted to the game, and we had a lot of late nights, so we'd become very delirious, and Ryan and I would write weird songs, which I'm sure maybe we'll record one day and release. And I don't know. I mean, there's video footage of us being kind of weird in the studio that you could probably dig up on YouTube. So yeah, a lot of funny stuff when we would get tired, for sure. Next question comes from Michelle Rodriguez. She asks, what is your writing process like? Do each of you guys contribute to the lyrics? The writing process for this record was unlike any other record before, just because pretty much the entire record we were all sitting together in a room working on the song collectively, also with our producer. And for EPs that we had released before, a lot of it, especially with the very early stuff, a lot of it was Sean, who would pretty much write the bulk of the song, and then we would kind of add our little stuff. But this record has definitely become a very collaborative effort, and we pretty much spent time all sitting in a room working on everything. So a lot of times it's the skeleton that Sean has of a song, and then we'll kind of piece together bass parts, drum parts, lyrics. I know Sean and I like to do lyrics a lot, but even for this record, we wrote lyrics kind of collectively for some of the songs. So yeah. Megan Flaherty asks, how did you guys come up with the name Sound of Fire? Basically, long story short, is we were working on the song Sound of Fire, which was one of the very first ones that we were happy with. And it was just kind of a lyric that we were playing around with, which ended up kind of being a theme of explaining something that you're very passionate about, like the sound of fire. You are like your fire is like your passion, and then it kind of bled into like the overall theme of the album. So it basically is like our album is something that we're very passionate about, so we decided to call it that. We didn't want to name our album like a self-titled thing or something like that. We wanted it to actually mean something to us. So Belinda Nguyen asks, are 11 Mac and Money Honey re-recorded? Yes, they are re-recorded. Both songs have had some changes to them. Nothing crazy, but I think you guys will be surprised, and hopefully as pleasantly surprised. But yeah, they definitely have been re-recorded. I think they sound better now. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Dana Henkes asks, how long have you guys been working on the album? I think it was probably like a year and a half. After we released to 11 Mac EP, we were pretty much ready to start making new music. And a lot of those songs that we wrote, in that year before we actually started the record, were songs that ended up on 16 Project, or songs that were trashed. Who knows? We might revisit them and bring them back to like a second album. But yeah, I'd say it was a good year's worth of time. Chandra Lynch asks, favorite song off the new album? My personal favorite is Sound of Fire. Probably because it was one of the first songs that we really felt like there was something special about it, and the second that I stepped in the vocal booth and started singing, everything felt great, and it was, I don't know, there's just something different about it, so that one means a lot to me. Brianna Kelly asks, for the cover of the album, did you actually set the piano on fire? Yes, we actually set a piano on fire. We actually were searching on Craigslist for an antique looking piano to set on fire. That's kind of sad, but it made for cool album artwork. So yeah, we got a piano for like $150 and took it out to the middle of the desert and doused it in lighter fluid and set it on fire and took some pictures. So Emily Philhart asks, how many days did it take to record Sound of Fire? We were out in California at the studio for a total of 2 months. So, but that also includes some writing, pre-production. So I'm not exactly sure how many days, if they were all squished together, it took to make the actual record. But we were out there for 2 months. So there's your answer. Sadie Renee Long asks, what was your favorite part about recording the album and why? My favorite part was probably just, I don't know, there was a lot of good stuff about it. Our producer was really cool. His name is Tim Pagnotta. He made it a really fun experience. It was very laid back. We had a lot of late nights, which was cool. When we tracked vocals, I mean, I would stay up till maybe sometimes 4 in the morning with Tim, and we would just kind of, work on vocals, and we would do little 7-Eleven trips. We would just walk to the 7-Eleven by his house, so that was fun. I don't know, everything about it was fun. We played a lot of ping pong too. Watched a lot of movies in our apartment. All good things. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this and have learned a little bit more about what happened during the Sound of Fire recording process, and we hope that you guys enjoy the album.